Bitcoin made a new all-time high. Great. That's at least how people say it, right? And technically it did, but is it really? We'll see. And I'm selling my Bitcoin. I'm selling my crypto. I'm selling everything that I have. And there's a very simple reason for that. So if you already like the content, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and somewhere in the video I'm gonna ask you a question. If you get the answer right, leave a comment. You can win $100 of USDT. I'm gonna pick one winner this time. All right. Now, at the moment of recording, Bitcoin is doing very fine. Let's first talk about the highs, right? And then talk about the huge crash that we just had, and that if you were sleeping around that period, that you didn't even notice the crash actually. So if we do take a look at what the previous high for Bitcoin was, it was sitting here, right? So we can draw a perfect line over that high right there. And if you look where we topped out right now, was at the same point, right? Like technically we made a new all-time high on some exchanges with a few bucks. But if you ask me, this is more like the kind of the perfect double top right there, right? So blasting through the all-time high, we didn't do that yet. Now, what I would like to see is actually that we break above it, retest it, and then go up, right? So it's a little too soon to celebrate. I saw all the YouTube titles and thumbnails and on Twitter like, oh, Bitcoin new all-time high. And then I looked at it and was like, yeah, okay, yeah, technically. But so we got rejected right there. And what happened? We had a pretty decent correction from that point. Now, what happened is we went from, let's say, 70K all the way back down to $59,000. So we had a 14% correction in a single day, right? And I think that if we take it on the hour chart, it looks even more brutal because, yeah, it happened in a matter of like 5 hours, give or take. So that scared the living crap out of a lot of people. And that's already what I would like to tell you. Don't turn your emotions on the coming year or so. That's gonna wreck you. All right. If you look at the bull markets, how they usually perform, if we go back to this bull market right here, you see a lot of these huge corrections that happen on the day, right? It's very normal for Bitcoin to have a 10-15% daily correction and to have 30-40% weekly, monthly corrections as well. That's happening in bull markets all the time. Don't let it scare you off. It now shows that, hey, we have a small correction and it got bought up right away, right? Because after we went down, it didn't take long for it to, turn out to be a wick, and now we are already 13% above it, right? So it's basically like nothing really happened right there. So if you ask me, dips are for buying right now, right? Can we get a bigger correction? Yeah, this was not that like interesting if you ask me. If you put it on the weekly, you can't even see it, right? If you go back to the last bull market, hey, there were times where we topped out and had a 30% correction over a matter of a month, right? So if we repeat the same thing, it could definitely happen that between now and somewhere in April, we slowly grind down all the way to 45K and still, continue to be bullish. That's, that's the normal movement that Bitcoin makes in such a market. So don't let it scare you off, really. Nevertheless, like I said, I'm selling everything. Of course, I'm selling everything, right? I'm not selling it right now, but I'm selling everything. And you should too, right? It's not financial advice, but the diamond hands, they never did that well, right? If you diamond hand Bitcoin, overall, you're doing well. But you have missed out on a lot. I mean, if you sold a little near the top and bought a little near the bottom, you could have like made your Bitcoin back like 2, 3, 4, 5 times as big. And with altcoins, I can, like, again, holding altcoins in a bear market is like trying to ice skate in spring. Like, you're gonna wreck yourself. That's like not what you want to do. So of course I'm selling that. Now my strategy for selling is basically the same strategy as buying. When I was buying crypto, I never tried to time the bottom, right? A lot of people said, you missed this. And I'll be like, yeah, it was never my intention. So I don't know why it's funny. I mean, you should not try to do that in the first place, right? Because there's a good chance that you thought this was a dip, or this was the dip, or this was the dip, or this, right? And if you buy them all, you still didn't technically buy you bought the bottom, but with a little part of your money, right? You can better wait for confirmation and then buy this one and this one and this one. Then you're sitting at the same levels. And if you bought this, but you buy the way up, it's a lot more safe, right? Now, when we have the top at a certain point, I will apply the same strategy, of course, to get out of crypto. And I won't time it, right? So if you come to the channel hoping that you can, watch these videos and be like, okay, now I can sell the top. Sorry, I have to disappoint you. It's not going to happen. But that should never be the intention, right? You want to buy as close to the bottom with a safe, while it's safe, actually, right? And you want to sell as close to the top while it's safe. Now, there are a lot of indicators for me that I use to be like, okay, is this the top or not? The first one that I use, and I will make a video where I will go over all my selling indicators exactly, but this video is more how I'm going to sell, okay? But the biggest one for me is actually just looking at the cycle. The 4-year cycle have never disappointed anybody, right? So it's very simple. And this is what I preach about all the time, right? But we had the top end of 2013, end of 2021, end of 2017, end of 2021. Is the chance really that small that it will be somewhere around the end of 2025? I don't know. I don't think so. So I'm not even gonna set price targets. A lot of people say set price targets, and that might work, but for me it doesn't really. Because what if I say like, okay, I want to sell Bitcoin when it's 100K, for example, right? But Bitcoin, let's say, hits 100K in August 2024. Yeah, I can tell myself like, okay, now I'm gonna sell it all, but that's the price target. But if I look at my time target, I'd be like, yeah, but if we move into 4-year cycles, then we still have a year of bull market to go, right? And in a bull market, Bitcoin doesn't go down. It also doesn't go sideways. It goes up, right? So in that case, I feel like, okay, I think price targets are less efficient than time targets, in my honest opinion. And that works also for altcoins, especially new altcoins like Beam, for example. Let's take Beam, right? New altcoin. So there's not a lot of history right here. So you cannot tell yourself like, yeah, I'm going to sell Beam when it hits like 8 cents or whatever, because who knows where it can go. You can't chart it really, right? Therefore, time targets are so much better than price targets. What is important about price targets, though, is that you make sure that you keep it safe, right? You keep it safe. And what do I mean by that? Well, for example, same example right here, Beam. I traded Beam a little bit, and I if it was luck or just I don't know what it was, but I nailed it. With Beam, I have a free bag, right? So whatever happens to Beam, if it goes to zero, I'm still in profit, right? Because I bought it very low. I sold this exact wick. I've bought this exact wick. I sold it a little higher again. I bought it back. It was incredible, right? So now I have my initial back already and a little profit. And I have a pretty decent Beam bag right now. So that's how you want to treat your complete crypto bag, actually. That's my biggest, not financial, don't sue me kind of advice, right? Like if you're in an altcoin and you'll notice that you are sitting at a 2, 3, 4x profit, right? It's tempting to be like, okay, but if it now goes up a little more, then I'm in way more profit. And then I hit $10,000 or $100,000 or whatever. And that's nice, but that's your emotions, right? Yeah, I sold here, right? And although I bought back here, I would have made more if I didn't sell it. But what if, right? And I want to cover myself for that. So that's the best way to approach the altcoin market, in my opinion, when it comes to also staying safe. And you have to remember, you came into crypto for a reason, right? And I think the reason for 99.9% of the people is to make money. You're not in for the tech. Shut up. Like, I don't believe that. Developers are maybe, but I don't know. At the end of the day, everybody is in for the money, right? So what you at least want to secure, if you ask me, is make sure that you do not lose money, right? Because that's exactly the opposite of your goal. Now, and that's greed, right? If people feel like, yeah, you know what, I don't want to lose money, but if I just, if it goes a little higher, then I make more. Nah, that's your greed. First, lock your initial, take it back, put it into another altcoin, put it on your bank, buy something nice for yourself. I don't know, right? But make sure that your initial is back, that you can't lose at least, right? My basically my whole crypto bag is almost, it's kind of free by now. So although it would still suck if it goes to zero, I won't lose, right? Just make sure that you won't lose at any time. So what I'm mainly going to do is, apart from taking my initials back and taking some profits here and there on my altcoins, I will let a lot just ride to make sure that I can make a very good amount of money when the bull market, is really in altcoins' favor. But other than that, I'm not gonna look too much at these bags. Like, for example, like I said with Beam, it's already free. If it doubles from here, of course, I'll take some off the table. But overall, I'm going to let it ride. And I mainly just look at Bitcoin. And I just look at the cycle and be like, if Bitcoin is now sitting here, it could go here, it could go, I don't know. But at the end of the day, somewhere in 2025, at the end of it, Bitcoin is sitting way higher than where it is right now. Overall, altcoins will go up with that. So if you focus too much on altcoins, they don't move because they move. They move because Bitcoin moves. Bitcoin is the leader in this whole story, right? And if you want to take a look who's the leader above Bitcoin, then you can take a look at the S&P maybe, right? So this is a little bit how you can play it. But first, I just look at Bitcoin, right? And my expectation is still that the cycle, as we know it, the 4-year cycle will end somewhere in 2025. Could it be a little sooner than December, November? Yeah, it could have like September, October, right? It could always be a little earlier, right? I mean, this move is happening a little earlier as well. So I'm not gonna wait until the end of 2025 to take profits. Probably at the beginning of it, or at least Q1/Q2, let me put it like that, I will start to take some good profits, right? So what if, and don't get me wrong, this is not how Bitcoin is going to move, okay? But just let's say Bitcoin does something like this, right? And it's the beginning of 2025, and Bitcoin is sitting at 200K, for example. Just all fictional numbers, right? But it's somewhere at the beginning of 2025, February, March, somewhere like that. Hey, I'm gonna start taking some good profits, and I will see by then how much percentages. That depends on what I need in life and what I can miss. There is not a standard rule for, some people say like, does it go up to X, take 20%? Yeah, some people are happy with 20%. Some people feel like, I only need 10%. They can take more risk. Some people feel like, man, I made a lot of money right now, and I cannot, carry the risk that much anymore. Take 40%, whatever, right? We'll talk about these strategies by then. But that's what I'm going to do. And by then, people are going to laugh at me. Of course, right? Because when I tell on this channel that I'm selling, there's a very high chance that it will go up more. Because again, I'm not here to try to time the top, right? So if I'm selling here, right, it could definitely be that, later in the year, it goes completely parabolic, right? And that's okay. That's why you call it DCA, right? I'm not selling everything here. I'm selling a bit here, selling a bit here, selling a bit here. there are so many people in crypto who will try to make it a competition or something. Watch out for that, okay? Because they will be like, ah, you idiot, ah, you moron, oh, look, it's higher now, ah, look, it's higher now, right? And at a certain point, the market will do this, and these people be like, ah, yeah, wait, it's all going to be okay, right? Ah, you see? Oh, no, oh. And these people are getting wrecked. And you had a very, very, very nice exit right there, right? Did you time the top? No. But did you sell somewhere close to the top, and did you buy somewhere close to the bottom? Yes. Well, mission accomplished. You made money in crypto. That's what you want to do, right? If you want to go exactly for this and exactly for this, the only thing that you will need for that is a shit ton amount of luck, right? But there's no skill in that, right? Bottoms are somewhat predictable, right? Bottom areas, but the bottom isn't. Same goes for the top, right? Therefore, you don't know, and you're betting your money on it, right? So if you feel like, yes, no, I am that smart, okay, go bet your money on it. I'm not that smart, man. I don't know. I cannot predict where the exact top is going to be. I don't think anybody can. So I'm not gonna try, because that's how you lose money, right? So that's my exit strategy right there, and also just keeping cash on the sideline in the meantime, because good projects will drop here. Good projects will drop here. I want to be there, right? Because overall, the crypto market can do another, what, let's say the altcoin market can do a 10x from here or so. Yeah, great. But new altcoins can do 100x from here. Yeah, in that case, I don't want to be completely positioned over here, right? And make a nice make some nice gains for sure, but miss out on projects that could make me way more because I don't have anything over here. Plus, if I still have anything over here, I can buy the dip if it happens, right? And that's also what you want to do. Now, shortly about altcoins, because I thought it was quite interesting, to be honest. If you look at Bitcoin on the daily, what just happened, right? This video is 1 day pre-recorded, by the way. So keep in mind that the chart might look a little different. But if you look at Bitcoin on the daily, green candle, nice. If you look at the Bitcoin dominance, red. So what do we see right now? We see, technically, if you see this in bigger moves, that's what you call an alt season, right? Where Bitcoin is going up and the dominance is going down. Now, these are little moves, like I said, on the daily. You want to see it on the weekly, right? Where Bitcoin really moons like crazy and the Bitcoin dominance goes down like crazy. That's not what we see right now. The Bitcoin dominance is also green on the week, but just not as much as Bitcoin. But that's what you want to see. That's how altcoins are going to perform very well. This is a good bullish candle right here, right? We came all the way down, but it was bought up right away, and now we eventually still green, right? Like, I know it's still early in the week, so anything could happen to this candle, but this looks pretty good so far, in my honest opinion. So therefore, we can see altcoins perform pretty well, right? And it's what we said earlier as well. If you look at Bitcoin, right? If you look what Bitcoin did in the last cycle, Bitcoin here broke its all-time high in December 2020. If we look at the altcoin market, December 2020 was here. So when Bitcoin made an all-time high, right, a new one, the altcoin market didn't. It was only after Bitcoin did that, after Bitcoin did that, that the altcoin market did it. Right? The altcoin market broke out and really made a new all-time high here. January 25, 2021. Well, January 25, 2021. That was when Bitcoin was sitting here. So Bitcoin was already way past, its old all-time high over here of 20K. Bitcoin was already sitting at 35 or so, right? Depends on where in the wick you take it, 40, 30, 40, right? So Bitcoin was way above its all-time high already. And that's when we started to see altcoins really break out and make new all-time highs as well, right? It went from 80 billion to 500 billion. It didn't look like much, but this is actually where Bitcoin still had a 2x to go. The altcoin market did a 6.5x, and that's the high caps, right? Not even the low caps. Can you imagine? Right. So if this time is the same when it comes to that, then we should just patiently wait for Bitcoin to really break above it. Like, again, people said like, yeah, Bitcoin made a new all-time high. Yeah, I don't see it yet. I don't really see it yet. Maybe by the time you watch it, we finally really above it, way above it, and everybody is celebrating. But for now, we put in a perfect double top, right? So, hey, let's wait and see what happens. If we take it to the last time, we had this high in 2017, and what happened is we had a high of 19,900, let's say. What happened here? We came 18,900, right? Rejection, but we went all the way up to 19,500 here. And here we made a new all-time high, 19,900. And a week later, we got rejected again. And only that week later, we really broke above it. And from then, it was, you see, it's just like Bitcoin went from 20K to 40K in a matter of 4 weeks. It was pure price discovery, right? So this move, 100%. Right? I'm not saying we will get the same move, but if it happens and we get 100% move, it could be pretty crazy, man. Could be like Bitcoin, like more than 100K. And I know, high price right now it takes more money to go up, but there is more money. There are now institutions, BlackRock buying in. There is money inflow. Like after the halving, there's 20 times as much Bitcoin being bought than mined every day. So they're like, why do you think this is getting bought up? Because the demand is like crazy and there's no supply anymore. So the price has to go up so that everybody can keep on buying it, right? There's just not enough Bitcoin at the moment. And that's so cool about it, because we as retailers at this point, if we really want to make a lot of money, we really shouldn't care that much about Bitcoin anymore, right? We also saw the Bitcoin dominance is like having a really hard time. Every time it gets above here, it ends up in these wicks and gets sold off right here. It looks to me like, okay, this might be a sign that the top for the Bitcoin dominance should be in, right? It's what we saw here as well. We have a lot of wicks right here. We had one good breakout, but it's all wicks, right? All wicks. And at a certain point, it ran out of energy and it went completely to the downside, right? Now that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see if you are bullish on altcoins, right? That the Bitcoin dominance crashes, right? And if this happens while Bitcoin is holding up or going up, yeah, then altcoins are really going to fly. So I would really like to see Bitcoin just break above this. Now, again, this is the first week. This right here took us a month, give or take. Right, so it could happen. It could be that it just takes a while. If we look at the bull market before that, we had a high of, let's say, what was it, $1,170 in 2013, and we tried to break above it right here. Got a huge rejection right here. It rejected by 40% almost. People gave up right there, right? And it took weeks and weeks and weeks, and we finally got there. And we got that fat rejection again, which took another month. And only then we started to climb up. And that's also where Bitcoin basically, when it went up right here, went in price discovery mode, and also went up like more than 100% in the matter of a couple of weeks, right? But overall, the time that it took to break it was like 14 weeks. That's 3 months right there, right? People are expecting this to happen today. And don't get me wrong, it could, it's possible. But it's also based on how it always went, very possible that it could take a month, 2, 3, right? I mean, we went up so hard, so fast. Why don't chill a little bit, right? I mean, that's healthy for the market. That's healthy. That gives another whole bunch of people the chance to step in again. Big corporations, new institutions. Again, they feel like, yeah, We could have bought Bitcoin at 40K and now it's sitting at 70. Like, how are we gonna tell our clients, right? Well, they are waiting for a good correction, and maybe it will come. We have a huge support area right here, right? This green box, and that's between 48 and 41, give or take. I'm not saying we will get there, but also saying like, hey, if we do, that's a 30% correction. Name one bull market where that didn't happen at least 3 times. So, hey, we'll see. If that happens, take it as an opportunity. Don't get scared of the markets right now whenever it dips. If you're bullish, I mean, you're in crypto for a reason, right? You think it's good. You put your money into it, so you think it's going up. That's my reasoning, right? So don't get scared if dips happen. If you think it's going up, right? We always right. No, but like it's normal, and it's wise to at a certain point just take your initial out, right? Like we are sitting at all-time highs right now. We're sitting there. So if you feel like, hey, I'm in good profit on this, what's there to lose? I said before, like more people will do that for you otherwise, right? Because we are sitting at all-time highs. Bitcoin never went higher than this. So people never bought higher. So nobody with Bitcoin is in a loss right now. Nobody. Everybody is in profit. And some people maybe even right now. Of course, people gonna sell, right? Question is, do you want to get dumped on, or do you want to, participate in the Dumbola party? Because securing your profits, hey, it's not a bad thing. It's definitely not a bad thing. If we do take a look at the USDT dominance, yeah, interesting chart, actually, if you ask me. Like we said earlier, this went down so hard. A lot of people say like, yeah, it's going up. BlackRock is buying. If you look, the USDT dominance, so how much money is sitting in USDT compared to the rest of the market, has gone down with 57%. So a lot of USDT has been deployed in Bitcoin or altcoins, right? So it's not BlackRock, not only BlackRock. Like, yeah, they help, but overall, there is a lot of crypto OGs right here who took their profits in the last bull market and now are deploying it, especially in the last couple of weeks, actually. So, yeah, this is an interesting level. If you ask me, it is a major trend line, and it looks like we are breaking it. But hey, wicks happen. So let's wait a little bit on that. Now, the question for the giveaway in this case is, what do you think the Bitcoin all-time high for this cycle is going to be? Let me know. And if you want, please explain why you think so. Right? Some people say 80K, but I always wonder like, okay, but why? Or 5 million, why? I want to understand how the audience thinks. That's it for now. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the Patreon. There's a link down below. Also a Bybit where you can get a lot of giveaways, exclusive deals. So do check it out. See you tomorrow.